Hello, this is me, and today I'm going to make, I guess, an identification. My mouth is not working. I'm going to make a video explaining why I'm making this vlog and just all the well, not all of it, but what has driven me to make a vlog chronicling my dating experiences anyway. I mean, after all, why should I need to make this, right? It shouldn't be that hard. There should be some resources, but I'm gonna be honest, dating when you're disabled is fucking horrible. It really is. I know it's tough for guys in general, at least online. Maybe people have had more luck offline, but when you're disabled, it sucks because you don't know, like other people, they just have an inherent knack to know what to say and what to do. And if they don't know it, they know where to go to get help, or they have friends they can lean on who are pretty socially adept and they know how to help. And they want to help, you know, instead of making excuses. But it feels like with my situation, I have autism, so, I mean, what do you want? You want me to know how to navigate a dating situation on my own? Yeah, good fucking luck with that. I'm weak at social situations. And when I ask for help, it feels like there's no one to lean on. No one takes it seriously. No one actually helps. So, basically, I have no support network. And my God, is it fucking frustrating. Holy fuck, is it frustrating. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, again, I really don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say when I get there. I don't know how to navigate these conversations. And I really could use a wingman or some dating coach to help me at least get my feet wet until I can stand on my own. But every time I've tried to lean on my friends to get help with that, it's not worked. And the worst thing is the way it doesn't work. Because again, a lot of them are single too, and we bring up the talk of how we don't want to be single, and I'm like, well, why don't we help each other? And they're all like, that's a good idea, let's do that. And then every time, without fail, it never goes anywhere. And why doesn't it go anywhere? It's not because I don't try. I bring it up multiple times, and they're always just dodging the question. They're like, hey, have you thought of any ideas of where you would want to go to meet someone? I don't know. Hey, what do you think about this idea I have? No response. Hey, are you free to do this? No response. There's just no engagement. And eventually it just implodes because I'm the only one trying here. And I can't even understand, and I don't understand why. Maybe they're scared or something, but it's like, come on, you have a friend who's saying, if you help me find someone, I'll help you find someone. You know, someone you can trust. You know they're not going to cut and run if they find someone first. So why are you not more excited about this? It doesn't make any sense. It's like if someone you trusted with your life said, hey, if you invest in this with me, we'll split the profits 50-50. Wouldn't you fucking do it? Assuming you knew that it was going to pay off and wasn't just, you know, like a Ponzi scheme that you were investing in. So why don't you do it? And it's also annoying because the way they go about it is like the worst way they could go about it ever. Instead of just coming up and saying, listen, I would love to help you, but I'm scared, or I don't know what the hell to do either. And maybe we can work it out and move past that. Or I could find someone else if they really just aren't ready. Instead, they say, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do this. And you get your hopes up. Things are finally going to change. Finally, I found my wingman. Finally, I'm going to find someone. Finally this, finally that. And then months go by of them just dodging any attempt to bring it up. Any attempt to make plans, any attempt to do anything. Just nothing happens because they keep dancing around the issue. And eventually you just get fed up with them lying and you call them out on it and say, what the fuck? Why'd you lie to me? I can't do this. I'm the only one trying. And they don't apologize for wasting your time. They don't apologize for hurting you and lying to your face. They get defensive when you say, why the fuck did you do that? Like, come on. You lied to my face. You wasted my time. That's really disrespectful. And then they get this defensive. Well, I'm doing as best I can. And it's like, no, you're not. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You don't respond to messages, but you've responded consistently to other things that aren't related to this. So clearly you're not doing as best you can. Or then they get defensive and it's not my job. It's like, but you're my friend, asshole, and I've done things for you that wasn't my job. You really can't help me out, help a bro out when he needs help? Especially when the bros helped you out before? Give me a break. Yeah, and it's another reason why I don't like it when people suggest I go find someone on the spectrum to date, because that is my experience with people as friends on the spectrum. Why would dating be any different? Like, again, I don't know if all of them are like this, but I've just had a really bad luck of the draw. But historically, when I've tried to interact with people who are disabled, and some of them are on the spectrum, it's just always turned into this me do 95%, they do 5% shit. And when I dare bring up, hey, I'm exhausted, I can't cover this much more, This is difficult for me too. You're expecting me to cover for you in an area where I'm weak. You need to meet me halfway. They never say, they always are like, I'm doing as best I can. I'm trying as hard as I can. And they never acknowledge that they messed up. They never apologize, and they never try to grow. So that sounds like someone you'd want to date, right? Someone who expects you to cover for them in the relationship, never can admit they're wrong, doesn't want to grow when someone points out to them and says, hey, you kind of have a pretty serious problem here. You don't respond to text messages. And instead gets all defensive and says, well, I'm doing as best I can, when it's like, no, you're not, because I've seen proof in the past that you can do so much better. Is that someone you want to date? It's frustrating too, because it's like you could see this coming. Whenever I go to people who aren't disabled and I ask for help and they suggest that, it's like, why don't you see this coming? You have two people who are disabled and are terrible at communicating, because a lot of people with disabilities are terrible at communicating. Hi, Noir. So you expect those people to work out a relationship when they're terrible at communicating without help. How's that going to work? You know, how's a relationship going to work if one person doesn't even respond to text messages half the time, or doesn't respond to calls, or doesn't respond to attempts to get together? Like, hey, I really have had this happen where I say, when are you free? And they don't even tell me when they're free. It's like, how am I supposed to have a relationship with you when you won't even tell me when you're free? And of course, they don't make plans to cover for me. So it's not like I'm complaining, but we still get together. It's like, you know, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And guarantee the people who are suggesting this aren't going to help me navigate this. They're just, because it feels like a lot of time when you bring this up to people, they just are saying whatever comes to their mind first to tell you to shut the fuck up and leave them alone because they want to continue to be lazy. Because again, it's like I've had people suggest like matchmaker service and say, oh, well, this is a good dating site. And it's like, actually, I did a little bit of research. It has mixed reviews, and it's not a dating site. It's a matchmaker service, which is significant because one of them costs a couple $100 for a few months. This one costs a few $1,000s for a few months. I can afford the one, the other one not so much. And there's not even a money-back guarantee as far as I can tell if it doesn't work. Because again, if I'm spending $4,000 on something, I would like to have them say, hey, if we don't find you someone within a year, here's your money back. We had a job and we didn't do it. We're sorry. Here's your money back. But I don't see any guarantee about that. So again, that's not going to work. Really, and it just feels like whenever I try to talk about it, no one actually listens to me and here's what I need. What I need is a wingman. What I need is a dating coach. What I need is something besides traditional dating. Or I need a script of where to go and what the fuck to say to get there. A brainstorming session. Where do I go to find somebody? And no one does that for me. Instead, they just give me these half-assed suggestions that it just feels like are off the top of their head to get me to shut up. And they never actually do anything to really help me. And it's so frustrating. I don't know if anyone else has had that, but it just feels like no one acknowledges that this is a problem. And then they tell you to drop it. Like, why are you focusing on it? You know, why are you focusing on it so much? Just let it go and it'll happen. It's like, yeah, no. I've been waiting for years already and nothing's happened. Plus, it's like the Titanic, you know. Yeah, if you first hit the iceberg and there's a small leak in one compartment, okay, fine. Maybe you can focus on something else and, you know, get to fixing it later. But, you know, it's progressed to another compartment and another compartment. Water's rising up to G deck, F deck, E deck, reception room on D deck. And now it's a problem. And they're still saying, we'll just let it go. It'll happen. And now water's on the boat deck. And they're still saying this. It's like, no. I've let it go for long enough. This is an emergency at this point. It needs to be addressed because it's never been properly addressed up to this point. And you might say, oh, you're overreacting. This is honestly to counter loneliness, in my opinion. That's part of the reason I need someone is because I am lonely and my friends in all their text-ignoring glory have not done anything to solve this problem because they just don't feel like trying, I guess. So I feel lonely, and it has driven me to the point where I have considered suicide. Not just because of that, but that's definitely a factoring role is I was lonely and I didn't see any way that it would ever change. So no, this isn't just something I can let go and ignore and it's going to get better. That could result in me literally being dead. Okay? So no, it's not something I can ignore. It's something that if you're not going to address the dating issue, you need to at least address the loneliness issue. But all they can do is just act like it's no big deal and just act like it's not urgent. Really, that's what it gets me, is it's like there's never any urgency when I bring this up. And I mean, really, dating-wise, it's kind of an urgent problem, too. I'm 30, and I haven't had any real significant relationship or potential to have a relationship in years. There needs to be some progress at some point, because suddenly, if you wait 10 more years, now I'm 40 and time really is running out. Okay? So I don't... Plus, I don't know about you, but I haven't had sex in fucking 7.5 years. I don't want to make it 17.5 years. Okay, that's too fucking long. I know, R. See, even she agrees. Either way, it just feels like nobody takes this seriously, and nobody actually treats it like it's a problem. And no one really tries to help because they're more interested in dismissing you than actually taking it seriously. Or acting like, well, you can do this on your own. Listen, maybe normal people can do this on their own, but even they struggle. And you probably have known that yourself, and if you're from my generation, so you should be the first one to have some empathy, so why don't you? But we're not normal people. Do you understand that we are disabled? We do not have the ability to navigate social situations without help, as normal people do. We need help, and there is no support network for people with autism that are adults. There's no dating group that caters to them. There's no dating coach as far as I'm concerned. No support forum as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing. We need your fucking help, and you're failing us. And yeah, and then I guarantee they're going to be the first to say, oh, it's not my job. Yeah, you know what? If you're my it's not your job. You're not getting paid for it. But if you're family or friends, why do you need to get paid to help out a friend? I thought that was what friends and family are supposed to do, or am I just fucking high? I mean, 420 is coming up. I suppose it's possible I am high, but you get what I'm saying, right? Why do you feel like you need to get something out of every exchange? Why does it have to be transactional? Why can't you just do something because it helps someone that you claim to care about? And I say claim because, again, if you're really going to make it pull that it's not my job shit, you don't care about somebody, really. You don't. And again, it's not like they say, oh, I'm legitimately too busy, but here's a service that could help you. I mean, no, they just do nothing. They just dismiss you and give you half-assed advice that never works, and then they get mad when you do it, when it doesn't work. Can you call them out on it? Like, why did you tell me this was going to work? You know, it didn't work, and really looking back, I think we should have seen this coming a mile away. But they don't, and then people like me, we have to go it alone when we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know where to look, so we look in the wrong places. We say the wrong things. We get involved with the wrong people, and then someone makes off with $300 of my fucking money. Because I thought they loved me, and really they loved my pocketbook. That's all they cared about. Except obviously they cared about their brother, the toilet guy, 911. But yeah, you see, like, there's no support network for people like me. There's nothing. There's really nothing. You try to even form groups and it doesn't work. Like I literally tried making a dating meetup, and nobody showed up. Repeatedly. Because maybe it's because they didn't like what the activities were, but again, I said, what do you want to do here? And nobody would say anything, so I had to guess, and of course I guessed wrong. And it's like, you know, at some point, people need to acknowledge that I am trying, and they need to help me too. You know, it shouldn't be just I do everything on my own. You know, you've probably been in that situation where you've had no one to rely on. It sucks. Why are you doing it to someone else? That makes no fucking sense. You should know better than everyone else, but that's not how you want to live life. But you're making it like that for everyone else because you suck. Like, seriously. You know, if it's like those people that say, oh, I was bullied when I was in high school, but instead of offering sympathy to people who commit suicide because of bullying, they're like, well, they're weak. I'm a man. I didn't commit suicide. Fuck you, asshole. First of all, this isn't about you. It's about the problem at hand. And second of all, why are you turning it into a dick swinging contest? You know how much it sucks to be bullied. Why don't you have any empathy for them? Did you ever grow up past high school or what? Did any of these people grow up past high school? Because I'm tired of this every man for themselves shit. And then they can't even acknowledge that it's every man for themselves. And they can't acknowledge that their half-assed advice is flawed. Because again, it's like you say, hey, there's a fire in the kitchen. I need to put it out. Just throw water on it. And it's like, are you sure it's a grease fire? Just throw water on it. And then you throw water on it and it blows up. Because that's what you do. What happens when you throw water on grease fires. And then you say, what the fuck, man? Now there's a huge fire. I can't put this thing out. My house is going to burn down. What do you have to say for yourself for telling me to do something that made it worse? You threw the water wrong. No apology, no remorse, no nothing. It's just, it's just victim blame. That's all anyone ever does, it seems. Hi, Noir. She's very talkative. You see what I'm saying? So I have to make this vlog because really it feels like nobody was there for me. So that's not what people should have to deal with, is no one is there for them. And there was no clue of and I've had no clue what to do, where to go, and what to say. And hopefully this vlog will give people some resources, and hopefully it'll help me too, because I'm hoping what'll happen is in the comments, people suggest things that I should do or should say, and I can test them out, and if it doesn't work, we can mark that down. If it does work, we can mark that down. You know, at least we have a plan. At least we can create a plan of what to do, because there is no plan for a lot of people who are disabled. And there's no services to create a plan, because no one treats it like it's a problem. No one acknowledges that we need help with this, let alone does anything to actually help us. This is me signing off. If you're lazy, fuck you. Like, seriously, come on. I know it's not your job, but really, this wouldn't even be necessary to make this vlog, I feel, if at least one person had just seriously sat down with me and said, okay, here's the problem. Here, how we go about solving this. Let's write a script. Let's do this. Let's do that. Just take it seriously. But no one ever does that, so I have to make this vlog. It's really agonizing and frustrating.